am so thrilled to have you here. This has been a long time coming, and I think I canceled. Oh no, there was a natural disaster last time, and then I got sick. But you're here now. I'm so happy that you're here.
I love you.
So we met officially. Was it last Fashion Week? I know it was October or.
Was it?
I mean, it was at the pop-up. It was at the High Confectionery pop-up when Form did an event. But I'm like blanking on the month because all those months are meshing into each other. But I was so excited to meet you and had just heard the most amazing things about you. And Jenna, my co-founder, who you got to know, was just saying like how special you are and how inspiring you are. And so I'm really thrilled to have you on here. I feel like let's just start from the top. Like, introduce yourself and just give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, I mean, I love you. I've always loved you, and I've loved just like absorbing your goodness on socials. And now that we get to be besties in person whenever we see each other, it just feels so right. And we had our pop-up together, which was so fun.
So fun.
And I think getting to do any IRL community-based anything, especially in New York.
Yeah.
Like if you're listening to this and you live in New York, thank you, because your energy does something different for us.
It's
It's alive.
true.
Like I feel like I come to life when I go there.
Completely. Yes. And I'm always thinking like maybe not somewhere that I could be 24/7, but
I couldn't. My central nervous system would shut down.
Completely. Yeah. But work, like anything work related, I feel so motivated. I'm like, I can get anything done here. Yes. So yeah, that event was amazing.
It was so great. And I mean, gosh, my life story.
Yeah.
You know,
so you grew up in Boca.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm just like your typical Jewish girl from Boca.
Okay.
You know,
I'm your typical Jewish girl from LA.
Right.
So
we get it.
We get it.
We totally get it. Everyone retires in Boca. Every like Jew from New York moves to Boca. I was the weird one that was raised there.
Yeah.
And
amongst all the old people.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, literally everyone in my neighborhood was over 80.
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah.
I feel like I would love that because I like oddly get along really well with older people.
I love older people.
They're just the wisest and the chillest, no judgment. Like, you can fully be yourself. Anyways, okay.
So growing up in Boca was just hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, lots of golf, lots of tennis, but also in hindsight, like so grateful my parents raised me in such a safe place.
Yeah.
And I think we all have that like rebellion in us. And of course, after living there for so long, my parents got divorced when I was really, really young. And my mom ended up moving to Malibu.
Oh my God.
So I had this really extreme duality between an LA life with my mom and my brother. I have an older brother, 2 years older, Frankie, ended up coming out to LA and doing high school here.
I met Frankie at the event. He's the cutest. Girls were talking about him.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure everywhere. Yeah.
I'm like, I hope I get to hand select my sister-in-law. Yeah. I won't, but like I pray. And Frankie moves out here, goes to New Roads for high school in Santa Monica.
Okay.
So I kind of had this like really fierce duality and was in LA all of the time.
Did you have a choice? Like, how old were you when they got divorced?
Yeah, so they got divorced when I was really young. My mom stayed in Boca for a bit. And then it was when I was in middle school that my mom moved out here. And to me, like, my middle school self, I mean, I was like so ugly. I was cute. Like, I wasn't very like in my own, like, I don't know if any middle school girl is.
No,
I mean, I got my period. I was living with my dad. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I just don't know.
What is
like,
this?
what's a tampon? I'm really confused. So
why is there blood coming out?
Like, please, Dad, tell me. I'm scared. So my mom offered to my brother and I, and my brother and I were really close, but we're very different. And he was so excited to be able to move out here and go to high school here versus for myself, I was scared.
Yeah,
like,
I bet.
I just wanted to stay in what I knew was familiar. And my dad was my person, you know, like we have a really, he still is in a lot of ways. Like we're just tight like that.
Yeah.
So my mom ends up moving out here. My brother comes out here.
That's so hard.
And then fast forward, I moved out in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you come out to LA.
Yes.
And what are you thinking about doing here? Like, what did you...
I know, this is such like a lifetime ago. It's so fun. So
it's not
my
even
brother
though.
and I know.
It's
but
7 years ago.
So I'm about to turn 30. And when I think about my 20s, holy shit.
They're such a blur.
They're such a blur. And I feel like it is such a defining decade in that you experiment so much. So I move out here. My brother and I started an influencer marketing agency.
Amazing.
I was like full blown agency girly. And it wasn't even intentionally an influencer agency. It was just at the rise of what was happening on social media. And to put it in like the shortest words, I was not passionate about it, but I was really good at it.
Okay.
And I think that accelerated my career in a way that I am so grateful for and introduced me to so many amazing, brilliant, lovely, beautiful people and really allowed me to like make LA my own.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but it wasn't for me. And I knew it wasn't for me. Like I knew this wasn't my career. I knew this was a stepping stone. And we ended up exiting in 2021.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
And at this time, I mean, I'm in my early 20s. And when you exit, like, it's kind of this, like, really intimidating thing of what do I do next with my life now? I need this brilliant idea. And instead of understanding what was next, I kind of went more internal and said, what do I need right now?
Good for you.
And I've been overweight. I was overweight my entire life. And living in LA, you kind of start getting a taste of what wellness can look like in such a spectrum. I mean, people do colonics once a week here, but like that wasn't for me.
Such a bubble. Like the wellness world here and what everybody looks like is such a bubble. And when that's all you see every day, that's what you think is okay. And then subconsciously you're like striving for that. But then again, being overweight and wanting to be healthy is like a totally other thing.
Yes. And I wanted that so bad. And I mean, I was the classic high school girl who tried anything and everything. It was like any and every fad diet. I did Jenny Craig. I did Weight Watchers. I did this thing called Smart for Life that were literal cookie. Like I was on a cookie diet.
That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard of those.
Yes. Yeah. It was just like hardcore cereal yo-yo dieter. And there was something that like was just so alive in me after I went to the doctor, figured out what my weight was. At this point, I like clocked in at 200. I'm 5'3". Like I'm a small girl. I'm a shorty. And I was just completely dissociated from my body and so out of my body. And I made the decision and I said, you know what? I am going to be healthy. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to build a team of experts around me. And at first, like I want to make this feel like it's my job.
Yeah.
And I
like fully commit to it.
I fully committed and I tried anything and everything. And oh my gosh, here I am. I mean, 85 pounds lighter, 6 years later, and now running a wellness company by no accident.
Right. No, of course. So tell me in now having this journey like a little bit behind you, even though I'm sure it's an ongoing thing as our wellness is, like, what were the things that you felt stuck the most and worked the most for you?
So it's interesting, when you want something really bad, you end up doing very restrictive things, and those things don't work and they don't last. They work temporarily. And for me, that was actually the keto way of living and eating. And I went keto for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I mean, I was living in a box. I was a prisoner to a plan that was no grains, no carbs, and so much fruit was off limits. I mean, truly, I couldn't even go out to a restaurant, but I ended up losing almost 50 pounds from that. But that wasn't my whole journey. And I think it was really smart of me in hindsight when I could feel that it was no longer serving me, because it was actually taking an impact on my mental health.
Completely.
And that there had to be another better way for me. And I know that people like love a keto way of living, but it's just not for me.
Completely. I think when it starts to sacrifice like who you are and your happiness, then that at that point it's not worth it. Then what's this all for, you know?
What is it all for? And honestly, because I was so dissociated from my body, what I knew was my joy and happiness. Like if I took pride in anything before my weight loss journey, it was who I was as a person.
You were super confident, even in your bigger body, always confident.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm married now, but like I was single for a lot of that journey. And I mean, I could kind of have my pick. Like I was good. I was great. I knew how to dress myself. Yeah. I knew my angles. Like I was actually able to really like come off a certain way, but looking internally was tough.
So is that what you think was happening? You think inside you were extremely insecure and fighting it, but on the outside you were doing a really good job of hiding it.
I was really good at hiding it.
Yeah.
I was. And I think that's why the people closest to me were like, what do you mean? Like,
right.
You're good.
Like, you're so fun and happy.
You're great.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of those people that were closest to me knew what was actually possible for me. I didn't even know what was possible for me. Like me sitting here now in this body now, feeling my spirit now.
You're like,
there's been growth.
Yeah.
Like there's been big change. And what did work was really understanding my body in like a very bio-individuality level of, okay, like just because a lot of people can lose weight from keto, like what is the actual day-to-day life that works for me? And that's not just with nutrition, that's also with movement. That's with so many wellness practices. And you really have to come from a place of trial and error to try a lot, understand what doesn't work for you, and be able to come back to self and say, great for you, not for me. And that's honestly my superpower.
Yeah.
I'm really good at checking in with self.
Completely.
And you've got to get to know yourself. And for me now, I mean, I absolutely have welcomed in so many more modalities of eating. I've tested so many different types of movement. I mean, I just did my blood work and I do like these like GI map stool test stuff.
Yeah,
but like I'm not even gluten-free anymore. Like my body can digest gluten perfectly and properly.
Wow.
So like really checking in with self on a scientific level too is important.
Okay.
And I mean, gosh, movement has saved my life in so many ways.
Yeah.
And,
so when you're thinking about like checking in with self, because that's something that really I'm working on so much that I wish that I had started to learn and think about younger, because it's really like we only have ourselves and the voice in our head is so powerful and we listen to it so much, so it's so important what it's saying. But where do you think like that came from, and even the confidence before? Because I want to like pull it out of you, but is it like, it feels like it's something that you always had?
I do think some of us are born with certain innate things.
Yeah, like it's your superpower.
I do feel like I have this light.
Yeah.
I feel it, and I've gotten in my own way from allowing it to shine through certain habits that I've developed, through the patterns that we all have. And what I've done a lot of self-work on is removing those patterns so I can just be the light that I know I am. And even being a woman, like I feel like so much of the time we dull our own shine to allow other people to feel more comfortable. And what I actually lead with now is like shining as bright and sparkly as I can so that everyone can meet me there.
Completely.
And I think that was like who I was brought into this world as.
Yeah.
But I totally have bad days, and I've had, oh my God, I mean, years of my life where like I would look in the mirror and like not even see myself. And I think that's what's really important about my life's journey, is that I've had to work for it in those ways. Yeah. And like really harness who I am and like kind of like beat the challenges that I've gotten in between me and who I know I am. Completely. You know those feelings when you're like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, I'm overwhelmed, or like whatever like fear or pain based emotions we can be feeling, and you're like, this isn't me. What's going on?
And I don't want to be like this. Let me get out of this. Yes.
Yeah. And like being in that moment of saying like, let's shake it off. Like let's literally like overcome it, and let's figure out how every single day we can show up in a way where those blockages don't get in our way and bottleneck the beauty of our own life.
So what are some of the practices now in day-to-day, both like food, nutrition, like would love to know what that looks like for you at this point, and then also just some of like the wellness practices that are non-negotiables for you.
Yeah. Okay. So with nutrition, I work with Shira Barlow.
Okay. Amazing. Love Shira. My sister loves her.
The best. Yeah. I've worked with her for years, and honestly, Shira is such an expert who I have in my corner, who's allowed me to really find what works for me. And I think everyone deserves access to someone like Shira. And it's such a gift to understand what makes you feel good or what makes you feel bad with food and why. I believe food is medicine. I believe that like the foods that we choose to eat do a lot for us or against us. I'm really simple, honestly. Like I think a lot of people want the blueprint of like, how can I lose 85 pounds?
Yeah.
I am protein heavy. That is for sure. But it's not in a cute way.
Yeah.
Like I do these chicken bowls that are like, if I were a food, I'd literally be a rotisserie chicken straight up.
Oh my God. Have you been to the Brentwood Country Mart? And
my favorite rotisserie.
I'm like, if you haven't been to the Brentwood Country Mart
for a date for that. That would be so yummy.
Literally my last meal before I die. Ready rotisserie chicken with the French fries.
Yeah.
And I'm weird about chicken. Like I have some weird like texture.
A lot of people can be weird with chicken,
but the ready chicken does like completely does it for me. So good. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so chicken. I literally keep
Whole Foods in business because
with the rotisserie chickens.
No, it's like I go through like 3 a week
from there. Oh my God.
Every day. So this is where like I'm simple. I want routine. Even with fashion, I'm simple. Like I want to know like my uniform, and when it comes to what I'm eating, I want to just know what I crave.
Like your essentials.
Yes. So every day for lunch, truly, I have a ton of chicken. I'll throw in some healthy fats with avocado, cheese. I do love dairy. Dairy loves me. And then I throw in some veggies and I make it fun with some sauces, even if it's just a really good olive oil and some like Maldon sea salt. Simple. I crave it though.
You love it.
I love it.
And you don't get sick of having the same thing almost every day.
Oh my, the day I get sick of chicken, I'm fucked.
Yeah. I'm like about to say.
I mean, I don't know, my whole identity. I don't even have words for it.
An identity without chicken.
Yes. And I do intermittent fast, but I welcome changes within my cycle. Like I know if I'm in my luteal cycle, part of my cycle, like I do need a little bit more carbs or maybe some protein earlier in the day, which I love, some eggs or like a protein shake. And then dinner's where I love to have fun.
Okay, good.
Dinner is really fun for me. And I also love to eat out. And that's something I've become a professional at because I can customize any menu.
Oh, completely.
But really any dinner is just a big protein. I would say at least 50% of my plate is protein, and then 25% can be this like yummy vegetable that I crave. Not the broccoli because you have to, and not the sad broccoli with nothing. Like I go for like the yummy vegetable that I want, and then the other 25% being some sort of carb or fruit, something that just satiates me a little bit more deeply. I love a sweet potato too. So yeah, I mean, my husband is an amazing cook. Like if he didn't have his company, he would literally be a chef.
Amazing.
I
have my husband cooks too.
Timmy's a good.
Yeah,
okay.
He's so good, and I'm like, thank God, because I can't do it.
I'm not down.
I just don't really care. Like I'll pretend to care. Like I'll see things on Instagram or I'll see things my friends will cook, and I'll be like, oh, that's cute. Like I want to do that, but it's just not me. For me, like I cook Sunny breakfast in the morning, and now it's important for me to have breakfast. So like I'm making myself something, but then that's the extent of my work in the kitchen for the day.
I love that.
Yeah.
You got to respect that boundary.
Completely.
And I love eating, and I love like the destination of cooking. Yeah. But like the journey of like prepping it all, chopping it all, doing the dishes. I mean, I'm no Martha. No. And I'm not going to pretend to be.
No. I like strive for it, but it's not going to be.
I envy all the Marthas out there. I know. But like, it's just not me.
No.
So that's nutrition. I also have such a sweet tooth. And I play. Like I will go for the dessert.
I've had a nutrition journey of my own where like for me, I also had a similar thing where I was very disassociated from my body. Like I didn't realize how thin I was getting. And so for me, it's about just like right now intuitively eating and eating what I feel like and what sounds good to me. And is that something that's incorporated into how you eat as well? Because I feel like restriction is just,
oh my God,
like it's just any kind of like quote diet or anything with any sort of restrictive energy to it is just a way for someone to rebel. It's just like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
no, I feel it because restriction was basically my middle name for like a very long time.
Yeah.
And I love that you're saying you're intuitively eating because it's as simple as knowing that you're hungry and eating, knowing when you're full and stopping.
Exactly.
And like you deserve both of those things. We all do. We really all do. And it's such a beautiful practice to be in your body and to reward your body and to also understand your cravings. Like I feel like cravings is like a dirty word. A craving is like a literal biological message saying like, this is primally what I want.
What I want, right.
Yes.
And then our brain fucks it all up.
Right. Yeah. And like to be able to have fun with food is Like I think going out for a meal like socially is one of my favorite things to do. Being able to like break bread with people, like that means the world to me.
Is it different for you now than it was before?
I definitely had a minute where like I had to kind of get over myself and that like I needed to communicate when, you know, like certain things weren't serving me. I needed to just own the fact that, you know, like I was gluten-free for a really long time, or like I do need all of these modifications because this is what makes me feel good. And if something makes you feel good, don't feel bad.
Right.
Own
so
it.
True.
Fucking own it,
so
fam.
True.
Like you deserve all of it and more.
All the goodness. I know. Tell me about the wellness practices that you found while you were on this journey that have still stuck with you.
I mean, it's so funny when I even think of let's do movement first. Like I literally used to do CrossFit. That was my entry into movement.
I had honestly a best friend also who wanted to lose a ton of weight, and that's what he started with as well.
And it's intense, but the community of it all was, I mean, for me, it was more of a proximity thing. I was living in Venice at the time, right off Electric Ave, and there was a CrossFit studio.
Oh my God, I lived right there.
Oh my God.
I lived on Indiana.
Yes, I was off San Juan.
Oh my God.
I mean,
we were
stone's
neighbors.
throw. Yeah.
Crazy.
So you could have come to CrossFit with me.
I almost literally saw all those crazy fucking people doing the most nuts bananas workouts. And Timmy and I were like, oh God. Oh God.
No, I was that girl it was a year.
Oh my God.
I just needed to commit to something.
I get it.
Truly 2 blocks away.
And community.
And like also someone teaching me was really nice because I didn't know anything.
Completely.
But yeah, that year ended and I was really great at committing to it, and I fucking did it, dude. Like I went 5 times a week, and my body transformed, and like so many amazing things happened within myself. But at that point, I was starting to get curious, like what else exists, and that's when I actually started working out on YouTube and found my now co-founder Sami Clark.
Yeah, and
I mean, long story short, like just changed the way that I fell in love with what strength training can feel like, and also had like such a long Pilates phase and really got into walking. I'm a really big walker, but I would say now we have form. I'm really big on strength training. I love lifting, and I think women get really caught up in like not wanting to bulk or getting really intimidated by like lifting, you know, I mean, a barbell can be very intimidating, but like even dumbbells, I think some people just get weirded out by equipment.
And like that gym culture of lifting weights.
Yeah, because there's like a certain confidence that you've got to find that I did not have for a long time. So I really, really, really have transformed my body with strength training.
So, okay, so on YouTube is where you met Sami?
Okay, so I did her workouts forever.
Okay.
And if there's any OG Sami Clark girlies in the audience, like the pink set 10-minute abs, I would do it every day. Every day. And then I started dating Andrew way back when.
Okay.
He's from Scottsdale. Sam's husband, JT's also from Scottsdale. Ange and JT literally went to middle school together.
Oh my God.
And randomly when it was 2021, the boys were like, we've got to get the Sammys together. And I was like, I love her workouts.
Yeah.
Like let's absolutely hang. You know, in LA when like people are like trying to set you up with friends and you're like, no, I actually need to meet this person.
Yeah,
like,
this one I need to.
Like give me her now.
Yeah.
And I mean, after 2 weeks of us all hanging out all the time, the boys were no longer there. Sami and I were the best of friends.
Oh my God.
And then it became this beautiful period of time where I had exited my company. She wanted to start something and I was her demo. Like I was literally the girl who needed her.
So you were able to really help her build because you know exactly what everybody needed.
Exactly. So we came together and built what is now Form. And almost 4 years in now. And it's just our baby in the best way. And I love seeing and hearing people's stories from our community because that's me.
Yeah.
Like I'm still on such a journey and I have been in maintenance mode now. Like I've looked this way for a couple of years and I've felt this way for even longer. And it's just so beautiful to be in like a new season of like what this maintenance mode now looks like. And then
for you,
it's different. Like it's different when you're not chipping away at goals.
Completely. And when you're feeling like you're pretty good where you're at and you just want to keep growing.
Yes. And then also welcoming change too. Like even, so another big wellness practice for me is meditation. And I'm very extroverted. I get my energy from people, but my goodness, when I am still with self and not distracted by what this world is, I have big downloads, like really big downloads. So I spend at least 20 minutes every morning meditating, and then 10 minutes following journaling every
thing that you were
I
thinking
have.
about.
Yes, truly every day.
So when you're meditating, are you just doing it silently, or is there any kind of guided meditation?
I do guided. So I did the Hoffman process. I actually
so curious
just
about
finished that.
You did?
So literally in
January.
January.
I'm like, I knew that. And then I saw someone else was going, and I'm like, was it the most amazing thing of all time?
Healed me in ways I didn't even know were possible in this lifetime.
Yeah. Can you just explain real quick what the Hoffman process is?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a 7-day, I hate to call it a retreat. It's really not a retreat. It's like a transformation of self. And I feel like a retreat sounds like a spa.
Yeah, but it's not.
It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I booked it a year out. I knew I wanted to do it. Like it was something that I really wanted to do. And it honestly stemmed from my mom dying. And I think like, you know, these life moments, and I know you've had grief as well, like it just takes over.
Completely.
And that was my intention going in, was like really releasing my mom and like finding forgiveness for my mom, which I found. I freaking found it. And
needed
like,
it.
oh, I needed it.
Yeah.
But I got so much more for myself. And I went into Hoffman with a meditation practice, but the way that they walk you through all of the inner workings of yourself and the way that you can align yourself between your body, your intellect, your emotional self, which is really that like inner child, and your spiritual self, which is exactly like who I believe I can lead as now. There's ways to meditate and to like visualize yourself with all 4 aspects of self as one. And I am obsessed
with this meditation.
I am obsessed. I do it every day. And then I do some like Joe Dispenza stuff. Like I love that. And then I tap into my journaling.
That's so smart. I haven't thought to do journaling after the meditation.
It helps me action it. Like I do think there's something really cathartic about writing, but it also helps me action it and then have that peace to reflect.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because those thoughts when you're meditating, they can just like float right through if you don't hold on to them.
Yeah. And I think like creating that physical word on paper. But this morning it was so interesting in my meditation. I was realizing when I was sitting with my body that I actually need to embrace change with my body again, because I had such a big weight loss and then have been in such maintenance mode that there has been this fear-based thing within me of like, you can't revert back. You know, like you did so good, you did such important work, you want to keep feeling good, and there becomes this like fear of change,
right? Or that one bad step could be
like the full downfall,
right?
That
the first step
effect.
of a failure. Yes.
So I was really sitting with that this morning, which is so interesting to just be feeling in this conversation, but really welcoming change and saying like, as long as I feel my best and I'm doing what I know makes me feel my best, then whatever actually happens is meant to happen. And I need to accept that.
Completely.
The body's meant to change. We age. Like that's a beautiful gift that I think aging is beautiful.
I mean, I think thinking and or saying and believing for me are 2 different things. Like I'm working on believing that, but I feel like for you are so mindful and so in tune with yourself that whatever change is happening, you will be noticing all of it and thinking about how you want to approach it. And so, like you said, whatever change comes, like you're ready for it, and just stay open to it. You don't know what it could look like.
I have no idea.
And like, you have no idea, but that's interesting that that's starting to be a thought. Maybe it has something to do with like wanting to become a mom or something, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put that out there.
I mean, that definitely is. I feel like Hoffman in itself too is like prenatal boot camp of just
really.
Yeah. I mean, how did you learn to become a mom? Like when you had Sunny, it was just
you just learn by doing it.
Yeah.
There's no preparation. Right. You can read whatever book you want to read, but you have no
idea
idea what kind of baby.
Like,
or listen to one, whatever way, or not. Like you just learn by trial and error. Like you have no idea what kind of baby you're gonna have. You know what they're gonna need, you have no idea. So you just learn by doing it. And then you have like a few people in your life that you talk to that you really trust. Like for me, I wasn't the kind of person that was trying to like talk to a million people and get all these opinions and go on chat rooms. And you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm going to find the one person that I trust that like did all the research on formula. And then I'm just going to you know what I mean?
I love that.
And I didn't want all the voices because I didn't want to parent my child how anybody else was. I just wanted to do what felt right to me.
And it is authentic to you.
Yeah. And and you parent your child how it feels right to you, and it may not look like the same as anybody else, but it's your own thing.
I believe that. I love, I always call them vision holders in my life, like the person doing it to show me that it's possible. And like, it's not that you need to mirror their step by step, but it's just kind of like the energy that they have around it that you can harness for yourself.
That you know that if like sometimes if they can do it, you know, somehow there's a way that you can do it.
How would you describe yourself as a mom? Like, how do you think you show up?
I'm like, I think emotionally really nurturing and loving, and sometimes too a little bit like, you know, give in to him a little bit easily, where I could probably set boundaries a bit more. But I'm a I feel like the way that I am as a mom is just the way that I am as a person. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a different kind of mom. I'm the same. It's just me as a mom.
Right.
I don't even know. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the freaking goal.
Yeah.
That is absolutely the goal.
You're just you, how you would talk to a 7-year-old, you know? And you don't have to change anything about yourself. There's nothing more that you need to learn. Like it's all just within us.
It's so true. I mean, I'm definitely in a season of life and a chapter of life where so many people around me are also,
I'm sure,
you know, like it is the
That's
season.
why I said it, because I was and thinking about body changing. I mean, regardless of having any issues with your body or not, it's a scary thing to think about that lack of control of your body that you won't have anymore, you know? But it's all a phase. It's all a phase. And when I come on your podcast, we can talk all about it.
I love it. I know. I'm like, tell me about being a mom.
Yeah, no, I want to tell you everything. Wait, okay. So more about Form real quick. So Form right now, you have your clothing line, which that red sweater.
I need to get you everything.
I need more. I need more of the fold over pants.
Yes.
And the
red
lounge
is so comfy.
The lounge is so good. So tell me about starting that. Like you had the online, the classes and whatnot, and then the clothing line happened. And I mean, I know about producing a clothing line is no easy task.
I mean, you know, it's so funny. I feel like we don't do anything by accident. And we actually don't really get distracted. Like we're very true to who we are in this space.
Yeah.
And like there's no comparison for us. Like we don't look outward. We definitely look inward, and I think it's because Sami and I are both very in touch with ourselves and like what feels true to us. And yes, we launched with fitness programming, and that's expanded from Sami across multiple trainers now. We launched nutrition, mindfulness, like true 360 wellness experience. And I would say the biggest standout is really the community of being amongst women who want to better themselves, and everyone's like forming the best version of them, whatever that looks and feels like. And Sami and I, obviously with the lifestyles that we have, we live in activewear, and there is just such a need in the market for something better. Yeah. And look, like I'll be the first to admit, Aloe is so cute. It is so cute. Lululemon has this shit on lock. Like these are big players in the space that we don't compare ourselves to. Like they're doing the damn thing in a way that is absolutely, they've built empires. There's so many amazing brands that I've worn for years and years and years. But Sam and I couldn't find our perfect activewear brand. And when you're wearing something every single day, like truly, I'm in jeans right now. This is not common. Like,
this is revolutionary. Like,
this is just not me at all, and I can't wait to rip them off. But like, truly, it was just that moment and that feeling of we know we're gonna do it and we're gonna do it right. And we started the process years before we launched, just with that desire
and really learning by doing.
And Honestly, it's so funny. Like, I admire you and your fashion so much. And it is the way that you shine and express yourself through fashion is something that I admire so much.
So sweet.
And this is where it's so funny of me. Like, I am not a fashion girly. Like, I love like a wedding to pop off. But like day to day, I am like the leggings, sweats, girly. Like I'm just a simple girl. I like a uniform, and that's really where form came to be. It's just like simply perfect. And it doesn't need to be complicated. And you know, like the fabric matters, the fit matters, the color matters, the style and the design does matter. Like it all comes together, but it's simple and it's effortless and it's thoughtless. We all have to make so many micro decisions in a day. I don't want to decide what I want to wear.
I know.
And
if
I don't
you
want to put it on
love
and feel
it,
uncomfy.
Completely. If you don't love fashion, or if it doesn't feel in your nature to be getting dressed every day, then yes, like you want your essentials, and you want your essentials to be good and comfy. And that's what I felt about yours. Like your double layer bra, you can just feel the quality, and it holds in my boobs different than other bras hold in my boobs. Like it doesn't smush them in. It has like a little, not padding, but with the double layer, it makes them look like a little bit juicier, you know?
Yeah, we need the juice.
We need the juice. But I got your brown set I wear all the time with the double layer bra. And then your red sweatshirt I love, because I just feel like that's such a good like dad sweatshirt vibe, you know?
I love when it's unisex.
Yeah, same.
Like I love feeling, I think that's also where our vibe comes in is like we're not ultra femme.
Yeah.
We're simple, and like it could kind of go either way, and I think anyone can find themselves in it.
Yeah.
And just feeling their best self. And I mean, even something like the layered bra, I feel like that popped for us because it is just like an inch more fashion forward.
Completely. Like it's just has a little bit of an edge. But what I like about it too, which I feel like is underrated, and I don't know if people tell you about this, but like it's shorter. So it comes up closer to the boob, so it's just so much more flattering on like the waistline rib area. Like I hate a sports bra. I wouldn't say hate, but I always think it's more flattering when the sports bra comes up higher.
I agree.
Anyways,
I agree.
love
No,
your
honestly, I love that you're bringing that up because Sami and myself have completely different bodies.
Yeah.
Like I'm 5'3", been on a weight loss journey. She is basically 6 feet tall. And
I saw her in an airport once
before being a trainer.
Yeah,
you know?
I saw her in an airport once without knowing who she was.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that girl's body. Like I've never seen anything like it. And then randomly she popped up on my Instagram and I was like, yes.
Makes sense. Yeah. Checks out. So we both fit everything on ourselves.
It's amazing.
And what's funny is we're actually the same size in a lot of things, but we have opposite bodies. So if she loves it and if I love it, then we're like, our job here is done. And of course we have fit models.
Of course, yeah.
But like that is where the duality of like truly we know that anyone and everyone can feel their best, because if we are yin yang and we can find the comfort within it, then like that to me feels so good for everyone. But yeah, literally a accidental fashion designer.
Yeah, that's so
Never
crazy.
would have ever thought.
And how is working with your best friend? Like, is it amazing?
Oh my God. I mean, like, of course, there's conversations that we have to have that aren't as fun that you get to just, but like, we know each other so deeply. I mean, we are literally sisters. And like, you have sisters. Like, you know, it's just, it's the most beautiful type of relationship where you're able to do more together. And I don't think it's meant for every friendship. I don't. But with Sam and I, the more that we get to say yes to as one is like the greater we are together.
That's amazing.
And we've just found such a beautiful balance. And, you know, I let her shine and I let her be her, and she lets me shine and she lets me be me, and we get to come together and shine together.
It's so amazing what you guys have built.
It's the dream.
And the husbands are friends too.
It's hilarious.
It's so amazing.
I mean, since middle school.
And are they involved in the company?
Not at all.
Okay, well that's good. Not good, but
yeah, no, I mean, if it was like a full family affair.
I would be like a little bit, I would more say you need a reality show.
Yes. Yeah. And that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
They're both like silent advisors and our biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah. Like Timmy's like that too.
Yes.
Like he's essentially my partner in the business because I like run everything by him, but he's not in my day-to-day shit, which I'm grateful for.
And I think that's a good like boundary and protection within a marriage.
Yeah, agreed.
Like if Sam and I slept together in the same bed every night, like
Yeah.
we probably shouldn't also work together.
Probably
but I
not.
also know couples that are able to balance it. I think it's so up to
Dependent on the couple.
Yes. And I don't know, like I think in the future we'd love to like bring them in on something, but in a fun way.
Yeah, maybe some men's stuff or when you do some unisex stuff. Yeah.
It could be really fun. I know they would fucking love it.
I'm sure. They like the attention. Yeah. Okay, I feel like I just have some fun questions for you at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so in an alternate universe where you weren't running your company, what do you think you may be doing?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. You know what? I am so grateful to sit here and tell you that I'm doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
I do think like I'm such a visualizer manifestor type. Like I see myself writing a book in the future.
You definitely will.
I see myself getting community together in a really impactful way. I feel like my weight loss story honestly has been like one body of work that has led me to like a full lifestyle of me making whatever dream life I have my own. Like I am here to have what I want, and I believe everyone should be.
Completely.
And I see that for me. So I know what I'm doing right now is like so spoon feeding that and so amazing and like exactly where I'm supposed to be here in this moment. Like the be here now vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm so excited for what the future can hold within
that.
that.
It's funny because I asked someone else this question too, and they said the same thing. They were like, I can't even picture myself in another world. Like this is just always what I was meant to be doing.
I do think I would have been like really badass in politics. Probably a little less cleavage.
I can totally see that, or not.
Yeah, maybe
you never know these days.
Job, but like I do think I could have crushed the whole
100%.
DC. Like maybe it would be a happier place.
But maybe that's a place for you in the future. Yeah. Once you like conquer everything you're set to do here, and then you take the platform that you've built, and maybe that's your community piece. You know, it'll all come together in a way that it's supposed to. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what's your favorite couch snack?
Oh my gosh. I'm such a chomps girl. Like I like protein to a gross amount.
Oh my god.
So I'll give you like the chomps vibe.
Yeah, we're a chomps family.
5 a day.
Like, oh my god.
It's sick.
Okay.
It's like actually a little bit sick. But I do also love just like, you know, a treat. Like I need a good treat. Like it's Girl Scout cookie season, so like frozen Thin Mints have been finding me on the couch.
So good. Yeah. So more like a chocolate vibe.
I love a chocolate.
Yeah. Okay, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I definitely kiss Andrew. Aww. I like just grab him. I love him so much. And I'm such like a physical touch type. And yeah, I'm just grateful to have a soulmate in that way where I like throw myself on him.
Like,
and
is he usually awake?
Yeah, he actually will wake up earlier than me and like respect my boundary of not being as much of a morning person. And we have our 2 dogs, Bagel and Locks. So
cute. They're so cute.
They get in the mix.
Yeah,
like, they see I kiss him. She kisses me. Locks, the boy, comes in. And it's so funny. Bagel is a queen and Locks is like just a dog. Like the different personalities
are so.
Pups.
I can't. I'm like, I don't know anything about dogs.
I know. We need a chat.
Yeah, you're going to tell me everything that I need
get you
to get.
So ready. Yeah.
Okay. Your 3 absolute favorite products, skincare or wellness products. Anything that you're like obsessed with right now.
Yes. You Beauty Resurfacing Compound and
good.
Hydrator. Holy shit. I had dermatitis. Thankfully, I've never really had like a bad skin situation. And but then like randomly I think it was stress, honestly. I started getting the little flare-ups of dermatitis, and it's just not cute. There's nothing to pop. It's just there.
Yeah.
You know,
like
just
redness. That's what Timmy has.
The redness. So that really changed the game for me.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, the TheraFace Deep Puffer Sitch. Have you seen her?
I've heard of it, but I haven't tried.
She is a need. You've
really?
got to get her. Yeah, there's a
God.
hot and cold setting. I really just do the cold.
I was gonna say the cold sounds so nice.
It's like hot on my face doesn't really do it for me, but when I'm on my period and I want the hot to like rub on my cramps, I travel with it.
Oh, smart.
There's two, makeup is funny for me.
Tell me why.
Okay, so like I'm not the biggest makeup girly, but like on a day like today, I love being able to like throw on the blush and like do my eyebrows. I've basically used the same makeup for like a decade.
Yeah.
And I should probably check it for like all the stuff,
like what's in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more of a like moderation for everything. So not all my stuff is clean at all. I have some clean stuff, some not stuff. I just can't care too much about it, but I'm so curious to know some of the things that have stuck with you. Like what's the lip gloss you're wearing and what's the blush and the mascara. The mascara is your eyelashes look like separated and like nice.
Honestly, mascara for me, I wear it probably once a month. Like,
never. I
love you so much. This is like me like presenting myself.
I feel so special.
Whit is so special. I'm putting on mascara today. It's Iris and Romeo, which is more of a new one, but like okay, MAC Studio Fix foundation. I've used it since middle school. I don't even use anything that's like a cream.
Yeah, I'm going to get you a new foundation situation.
I need help with that. I literally just use like a few brushes and like go. Put it on. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, Dibs blush. It's really good. Dibs. I'm literally like the 8th grader who's like learning makeup.
You don't care.
Yeah, but I love watching beauty tutorials. Yeah,
same. They're so fun, but I can never do them. Yeah. I try to learn in terms of like how to highlight my face, but eyeshadow, any sort of something on the eye, like I cannot do.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Okay, what's the most memorable place you've traveled?
Ooh, Italy is my freaking jam.
Yeah.
So we go to Italy every summer.
Amazing.
I like made Andrew swear on his life that
would be an annual trip. Yeah. Amazing.
And I just feel alive when I'm there.
Yeah.
But I've had like a new take on travel recently, and I think I got a little caught up. I actually want your opinion on this.
Yeah,
I feel like travel for a bit kind of got to this like list of hotels that I needed to go to versus now I'm craving adventure.
Like experiences.
I want my inner child to be free. I want to just be having fun. And these really nice hotels that we work our asses off to go to and like absolutely deserve kind of strip away a lot of the fun.
It's so true, because you go there and you just lay out and then you're just thinking about how much money you're spending the whole time.
I know. I'm like, wait, it's kind of criminal.
Yeah.
Like it's so arbitrary. Like no way it can actually, no.
I know. I'm with you. I mean, I'm very into like experiences as birthday presents.
Yes.
Like go get someone tickets to a comedy show or like go to the museum, like experiences.
Yes.
I'm all about that. Travel, I don't know, it gets hard. Once you have a kid, you're not really thinking so much about like travel for leisure. Like we started talking about summer plans and we're thinking about driving cross country, because now we'll have a dog. We're thinking about driving cross country and being in like Vermont for a month and do like some East Coast thing.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm not like, when is my 3-week adventure with Timmy gonna happen? Like I'm gonna go away for a couple nights with my birthday, but it just changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be, and everyone can do their own thing. It doesn't have to change, but for us, we like don't want to be away from Sunny for that long.
I love that.
And then it's also not, it's now starting to get fun to travel with him. Like now is when I could maybe take him to Europe or like show him things. But while they're young, you're like, it's just a hassle to bring them anywhere.
I also think there's this beautiful season of loving being home.
Agreed. Agreed.
Like
and
making a sanctuary out of your home and not. I feel like when I lived in LA before we moved to Austin, I always had a trip on the books, and it was actually quite toxic. Like it was kind of like I was leaving.
Right. Like you need something to look forward to, because home is almost not enough.
When home's enough, oh gosh, I know. It feels good.
It's so true. Is that like
really
your
feels
safe
good.
space? That was going to be my last question.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
describe your safe space.
I think about water, a body of water that comes to mind. I think about a body of water and I like feel Andrew's touch. I like hear my dad's voice and my brother's laugh and like music's playing. I'm like well hydrated
And fed.
and fed. I don't really know where in the world, but like my goodness, it is just safe and like it you know, I think once those boxes are checked for me, everything else I can handle.
Right. It doesn't matter where you are.
You know, like I think to be at a place in life where life's always going to throw us curveballs. So to know like what brings you that peace and like what really grounds you, whether that's family, travel, water, I mean, whatever it might be. What a gift to just call those things in and be able to come from a place of like, okay, I'm me and like whatever happens I can handle because I'm safe as just like
in
being
myself. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, circling back to the beginning of our conversation when we were talking about moving, when I talk about it too much or like it starts to kind of overtake me, Timmy's like, I just want you to remember that like a place isn't your happiness. Like it's not going to make you happy or unhappy. Like your happiness comes from within. And I was like, yes, that's so true, but cities can have energy.
I agree. No, I agree. I think it's so important to like be where your feet are, like be here now and be so present in like making the most of where you get to be.
I will. I just said we're out and he's like, fine, done. So we have that.
I love that. I think, I mean, honestly, before we pulled the plug on LA and moved to Austin, there was the toxic mindset of like not being present.
Yeah.
But I also believe that places do have energy. And as soon as I land in LA and I'm like walking out of LAX, it changes.
It changes.
The way you breathe changes, the way you hold yourself changes. So I do think like as you guys explore other areas,
like paying attention to that.
Yes.
Yeah, I really believe in that. Yeah. Well, I've loved having you on. I could talk to you for hours.
I love you. I feel like this is just us hanging.
Yeah. I want to chill like without microphones and just us
so many
chilling.
More chills.
But tell everybody just where they can find you and Form and everything.
So Instagram at Sami Spalter, and then for Form we're at Form. We have our podcast Transform that we absolutely will definitely have you on soon.
Yes, have to.
So fun.
Thank you so much.
You are just magic, my girl. I love you. Thank you. So fun.